Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar this side and welcome to Chemistry Universe. Today we are going to start a new lesson. This is carboxylic acid and its derivatives. Now in this particular lesson what I've done is I've broken this into, of course, there will be around 12 parts to this lesson. But I have broken them down into basically two pieces. One is the piece where we do carboxylic acids and then we do each of its derivatives. Okay. So, but all of them are broken into 12 pieces so that we can make shorter videos. So this is the first part. Here we do the introduction, we do the classification and the names, common names of carboxylic acids. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so this is part one, introduction, classification, and common names. So let's first introduce what are carboxylic acids. I am pretty sure you have a good idea about what they are. They're basically compounds with functional group C double bond O single bond OH. So this is the carboxyl group. This is the functional group of carboxylic acids. And so basically, this is what we are going to do. We are going to do compounds in which this functional group exists. But do not think that the carboxylic acids properties are a sum of the properties of the carbonyl part and the hydroxyl part. So don't think it is basically a sum of aldehyde ketone properties and alcohol properties. The RCOOH behaves completely differently because the lone pair of oxygen is in conjugation with the double bond O, unlike in alcohols or unlike in carbonyl compounds. So they are very different. So carboxylic acids have unique properties and not just the sum of the properties of carbonyl compounds and alcohols. So that is what we need to understand first. So let's do a couple of classification. There are various ways of doing classification. First, we can do the classification based on the number of carboxyl groups. Okay, so this is one way of classifying them. So we can have monocarboxylic acids or monobasic acids. Now, this is very important to understand. We call, let's say, an acid like HCl as a monobasic acid. Now, you may understand, you may wonder, what do you mean by monobasic? Meaning one equivalent of HCl will react with one equivalent of NaOH. That means 1 mole of HCl will require 1 mole of NaOH. So for every 1 H, you have a 1 OH requirement. So by monobasic acid, we basically mean you have 1 H. So 1 mole of HCl requires 1 mole of NaOH. H2SO4 on the other hand is called a dibasic acid, meaning 1 mole of H2SO4 will require 2 mole of NaOH. So it's a dibasic acid. So similarly, you can have different number of carboxyl groups, and depending on the number of carboxyl group, you can have monobasic, dibasic, tribasic, and polybasic, etc. So if you want to know the monocarboxylic acids, well, most of the acids that we're going to do today are this category, the monocarboxylic acids, formic acid, acetic acid, and stuff like that. Then you have dicarboxylic acids, many of them. For example, this one has 2 COH, this is oxalic acid. These are the common names. We are only looking at the common names right now, not much on the IUPAC name, because IUPAC name we've already done, but it is the common name which are important to remember. Then you have a tricarboxylic acids or tribasic acids. This one in particular is very interesting. This is citric acid, often found in lime and lemon. So this is one way of classifying them. Now, if you look at the nomenclature of the monobasic carboxylic acids, well, this is the way it goes. Now, the common name is what you have to pay attention to. So if you have a HCOH, we call it formic acid. Of course, IUPAC calls it methanoic acid, that we all know. This guy is acetic acid. You have seen these two very often. This one is known as propionic acid. Remember, in IUPAC, it is propanoic. Here it is propionic acid. If you are ever given options in which you're asked what are the names of these, or you are given this molecule and asked what are the names. Even okay, it seems to have vanished. Yeah. So even this would be correct, and even this would be correct if they don't tell you whether you have to pick only the common name or the IUPAC name. The C3H7, which has 4 carbons in total, is butyric acid in the common name. Of course, in IUPAC it is butanoic. And the C4 one, it's called valeric acid. Very important to remember these. And of course, here it is pentanoic. It's pretty simple. All right. Then we can see the nomenclature of dicarboxylic acids. And there is a way to remember them also, which I will tell you. This one is called oxalic acid. But if I insert a CH2 in between these two COH groups, I get this. This is called malonic acid. If I were to insert 2 CH2s in between the two, I get this. This is called succinic acid. If I were to insert one more CH2, that means 3 CH2s now, like this, you have glutaric acid. And I were to insert one more CH2, that means 4 CH2s now, it is called adipic acid. And then, of course, if I have one more CH2, that means 5 CH2s, it is pymalic acid. And this goes on. Of course, the list is endless. But these are the 5 that we generally would like to remember. So oxalic, malonic, succinic, glutaric, adipic, pymalic. And this is the way we remember it. We call it, oh my sweet grandma always prays. So O for oxalic, M for malonic, S for succinic, G for glutaric, A for adipic, and P for pymalic acid. So this way one can remember all of them. And that is how we end this particular video. So I hope this video sort of helped you in the basics of carboxylic acids. And we'll come up with the next one in which we will talk about more about carboxylic acids like preparation and stuff like that. So wait for the next one. Till then, have a nice day and thank you for watching this.